Roughly 2,000 light-years away in the direction of the constellation Ophiuchus, there sits a dead star that physics says shouldn't be there at all. It's too heavy to be what it appears to be, and it's too light to be what it should have become next. It exists in a gap that decades of astrophysics assumed was essentially empty. To understand why this matters, you need to understand how massive stars die. When a star between roughly 8 and 25 times the mass of our Sun runs out of fuel, its core collapses into a neutron star, an object so dense that a single teaspoon of its material would weigh about 1 billion tons. But there's a limit to how heavy a neutron star can get. Physicists call it the Tolman-Oppenheimer-Volkoff limit, and it sits at roughly 2 to 2.2 times the mass of our Sun. Cross that threshold and gravity should win completely, crushing the object past the neutron star stage entirely, all the way down into a black hole. Here's the problem. The lightest confirmed black holes we've ever detected weigh in at around 5 solar masses. That leaves a conspicuous, unexplained stretch sitting between roughly 2 and 5 solar masses, where almost nothing has ever been confidently found. Astronomers call it the mass gap, and for years it sat there quietly, a strange, unexplained silence in an otherwise crowded universe. In April 2026, using data from the European Space Agency's Gaia satellite combined with ground-based spectroscopy, a team of astronomers confirmed an object sitting directly inside that forbidden zone. It weighs approximately 2.09 times the mass of our Sun, just barely across the theoretical neutron star limit, yet showing none of the clear signatures astronomers would expect from a black hole either. It sits precisely where decades of stellar physics said almost nothing should exist. So what is it actually? That's the honest, unresolved question at the heart of this discovery. It's possible our understanding of the absolute physical limit on neutron stars is slightly wrong, that under the right conditions matter can resist collapsing into a black hole at masses higher than the standard calculation allows. It's possible this object represents something even stranger, a theoretical state of matter some physicists call a quark star, where the crushing pressure inside becomes so extreme that neutrons themselves break apart into their fundamental particles, creating something denser than a neutron star but not quite a black hole either. And it's possible, though less likely given the careful analysis behind this result, that our mass measurement itself will need refinement as more data comes in. Here's why this genuinely matters beyond a single strange star sitting quietly in Ophiuchus. Every neutron star merger we've detected through gravitational waves, including the collision that first proved heavy elements like gold and platinum are forged in cosmic violence, depends on scientists correctly understanding exactly what neutron stars are and how heavy they can possibly become. If the boundary between neutron stars and black holes sits in a slightly different place than we thought, it changes how we interpret every gravitational wave signal detected since 2015, potentially reclassifying some events we assumed were black hole collisions, or some we assumed were neutron star collisions, into something else entirely. It even affects how confidently we can identify future black hole mergers as we search for objects hiding inside this exact same gap. In other words, a single dead star, 2,000 light-years from Earth, quietly existing where physics said nothing could, may be forcing a correction to the rulebook astronomers use every single time they detect a ripple in space-time. What makes discoveries like this so valuable isn't just the individual object itself, but what it reveals about the limits of our confidence. We have built extraordinarily precise models of how matter behaves under extreme gravity, models that have worked remarkably well for decades. And yet here, in a quiet corner of our own galaxy, nature simply placed something exactly where we were confident nothing could survive. That tension between what our best equations predict and what the universe actually contains is exactly where the next real breakthrough in physics tends to come from. What do you think? Is this dead star an unusually heavy neutron star pushing past what we thought was possible? Or something genuinely new, hiding in plain sight? Let me know in the comments. Subscribe, because next time we are finally covering quark stars, The exact theoretical object that may explain exactly what we just found, made of matter crushed so violently that neutrons themselves are believed to break apart entirely.